Hello, internet people. It is I, Mar, here to finish something that I started a long time ago, and by finish, I actually mean restart, because reasons. Okay, so let's talk about the plan for today first. The plan for today is, and just for this series, is real simple. We are going to finish... I can never decide which one I like better with the green overalls. Like, it's not hard to pick the shoes, but the hat is. Because I don't really like either one, really. But this'll do. Anyway, so today we're playing Dark Cloud 2. Now you might be asking, but why? You may also be asking, are we really going to watch every scene in Dark Cloud 2 again? No. For two reasons. One, I did this recently, and two, we're gonna watch the scenes on the actual perfect save file. So, if you have watched me do this before, by watched me do this before, I mean, watched me like 2 years ago when I originally started this challenge. Also, fun fact, it is possible to lose this fight. I once tried just to see what would happen. It does just game over you. I think that's hilarious. But it's really hard to lose unless you're trying to. Like, you can just run at them and swing your sword, and that's good enough. Anyway, so we're not watching the scenes for two reasons. One, I actually I've been replaying the first, like, I'm about a third of the way through the game. So like all of these are real fresh in my mind anyway. I don't want to watch them again. But, and this is a little more important. I hate that this isn't skippable. And this is a little more important. If you've watched me do this challenge before,
yeah, I guess, but
it is required that you have a save file already that is at the end of the game or close to it.
I got a ticket for Flotsam Circus Troupe.
And the reason why is because you need to be able to start the game with some of the metal,
He said I could go.
some of the metals gear already equipped.
Right.
And by some, I mean all. We're getting as much metals gear as we can. That's what we're gonna have equipped.
It's pretty old. I don't know what it is.
Okay, we can skip now. I don't know at what point that scene becomes skippable, but it's just not at the beginning. It's like, why? Okay, so we'll go down here and we'll grab the notebook and the wrench, and we will run up and we will fix some stuff. Okay, so the main reason that I want to do this is because I never finished that challenge before, for one. And for two, because I learned a lot of things about the game in my attempt to do it without synthesizing weapons ever, I learned about a lot of glitches that I think would make this challenge better. So we're gonna use them. We won't get to too far into the specifics of that until... Oh, wait. There we go. Wait, I forgot. You don't fix pitch. The reason you don't fix pitch is because the camera pitch setting here doesn't actually affect the controls for this. They're what would now be called reversed, no matter what you do. Hey, please.
Did you see a little red-headed kid come this way?
Not skippable. Bummer. So the vertical controls here are reversed no matter what. What camera pitch there affects is not this, but it does affect the
headed towards City Hall.
It affects, what's it called? The settings for, also I'm gonna turn the game down just a little bit more. There we go. That's fine. But it affects what would normally be called the, just the camera controls for the actual camera. Not when you're moving the camera around in the game, but the actual camera that you take pictures with.
Did you see a
And that's
red-haired
all it
boy run by?
affects. That's it.
Oh, yes.
Um,
Just now. I'm certain I saw him heading that way.
So that's how that works. It's sad and sucks, to be honest. Because for some reason it doesn't affect this. So this is always what would be called reversed now. But even if I don't like the reversed vertical controls, I prefer normal. It is even worse, so much worse, in fact, to have this be reversed and then the camera controls for taking pictures be normal. Those not being the same sucks so much more.
Here it is.
But yeah. So our first goal is to get to the end of the game relatively normally, and then get a bunch of medals together. Like a lot. We need a lot of medals. So many medals. Because I want to get as many. Last time I did it, I kind of like calculated out like the minimum medals I needed in order to make the save file I wanted. This time we're just going maximum. Also, I like how these cons take like no durability off your wrench, like noticeably less than the later cons. That's kind of weird, but whatever. The other thing is we're not limiting ourselves on ride pod use, because I don't feel like it. I might sometimes not use the ride pod, but using the ride pod at the beginning of the game makes it so much faster. And on this playthrough, that's all we care about, speed. All we care about is getting through quickly.
But in a way, it was really fun.
This is not skippable. We have to listen to the song.
I mean, every boring
It's a good
day
song
had been
though,
just
so I
the
don't
same
really
for
mind.
me.
Yeah, every day just been the same
But
for you, I
this-
know.
This was the beginning of a real adventure.
I still love this game. Like I said, I was replaying it recently. That's where this is coming from, is I have played the beginning of this game 3 separate times in the last couple weeks. Oh, also, I just want to explain this. If you're wondering why I restarted the game, this is on my PS5 now, right? Like, I don't want to set my PS4 up. That's the core problem. My save data for this game is on my PS4. And I did not have it uploaded to the cloud or anything, and I don't feel like getting my PS4 set up to get it. And I wish there was a better reason than that for why I'm about to spend conservatively at least 20 hours playing through this game, but no, that's it. That's the whole reason. Because my save data is on my PS4, and I don't want to get out my PS4. Now, do I need an excuse to play this game again? Honestly, not really. So, like, take that with the grain of salt it deserves. That, like, I like this game a lot. And I will take pretty much any excuse to play it again. So, like, it deserves to have a grain of salt. Okay, skippable? Skippable. Awesome. Let's get going. I like how they give you this break here before you talk to Donnie. Like, I honestly don't understand it. I think it's to break up the scene. And also give you a chance to save, but, like...
Chapter 1.
Simply don't... They should just give you a chance to save before you go in. Like, all those scenes should happen, and the save point should be right before you go in. It should be like, maybe save before you go in, and then you go in. And, like, I don't know, I feel like that would be easier than this whole thing that they're doing. You know, I just feel like they put more work into that than necessary. Anyway, when I say that I've started the game 3 times, I mean I'm playing it with my partner, who has relatively little patience. And part of the reason I'm streaming it is because I've grinded as much as I realistically can in Chapter 3 in the save file I have with my partner. So I don't want to grind anymore. But I still want to play the game. So here we are. This is my excuse. On a related note, I will probably find an excuse to play Dark Cloud 1 soon. I already have one prepared. It's called Retro Achievements. I don't have any for Dark Cloud 1, and I could have all of them for Dark Cloud 1. Sadly, there's no Retro Achievements for Dark Cloud 2, or that is the version we'd be playing. Accidentally hit the wrong button. Like, if there were Retro Achievements for Dark Cloud 2, have no doubt, that's the version we'd be playing right now. But sadly, there's not. Also, lucky on the key being in the chest right in front of this door. I missed. That's embarrassing. Anyway, so... yeah, so our definition for how we're going to have a, also, I'm going to be testing out a glitch in this, and it is very important. There's only one time I'm gonna actually use it, because I think otherwise it's a really boring glitch. But, I couldn't find any information on whether this combination of glitches works together. I think there's a decent chance it doesn't, but anyone who's explored glitches in this game has probably at least heard of the infinite money glitch, which you get by infinitely replicating lures. What you might not have heard about is that there's also a glitch to get anything on your fishing rod or your lure rod. And I need to know how the dupe glitch interacts with that. Because if you remember, part of the reason I abandoned the playing this game without synthesis challenge was because of just how obnoxiously long it took to upgrade weapons. Because I still wanted, like, actually good weapons instead of just weapons that existed. And so that means that, like, depending on how that interaction works, oh boy, that could affect a lot. Like, if I can cheese my way into getting a few level up powders off of Spheda, which is a pretty easy thing to do, and then dupe them and skip all of that grinding time, especially all the grinding time in Chapter 3 to get an armband that's worth using, I would be so happy. If that works, I'm doing that challenge. Because that is an interesting way to skip all of the grinding. You know, it still keeps all of the interesting aspects of the challenge. That, you know, our focus is on having our weapons be functional without ever using synthesis and all the interesting bits that you have to do that. While also not taking hundreds of hours, which I would be super happy about. because I did not make it even a third of the way through that challenge. I wouldn't even say I made it a quarter of the way through that grinding time. And I looked at my playtime on this game on, I was at 200 hours before I started replaying it. Recently. Like, the last time I played this game was that challenge because it burned me out on this game for a while. And in that challenge alone, in between that and the perfect save file challenge, I had played this game for more than 200 hours. Like, it was bad. What's the medal for this floor again? Is it not healing? Yeah, it's not healing. Okay. I don't know if the pool counts. The pool probably counted. I wasn't thinking about it, because I forgot that was the challenge. Anyway, let's get some XP for the gun too. It's definitely not because I'm a coward and don't want to get hit more. Hee. That would never be it. I only know courage. Courage, the cowardly dog, that is. Oh. Yeah. I don't know. I'm all over the place right now, but you know, that's okay. You know, I don't know what I'm doing with my life at the moment. Because I am between everything I want to do. But I can at least come back and finish some things that I wanted to do a few years ago. That's within my power, so here we are. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I also don't know what I'm saying either, but, you know, that's more to be expected of me. I've never known what I'm saying. At least not while on stream, because I'm not usually talking about serious enough topics on stream for me to care. And the only time I know what I'm saying is if I actually care about what I'm saying. Like, if what I'm saying isn't particularly important, then I promise you I have no idea what words are passing my lips. Like, your guess is as good as mine in terms of what is being said here. I used to hum along with games all the time, and I think it's really interesting because that habit will come back when I play games that I used to do it with, but I don't do it with new games anymore. Like, it's just not something I do. I don't learn the game music that well and then hum it anymore. That's just not a thing.
All right.
For me, like it used to be. I don't know why. Just at some point I stopped doing it and I never started again. Also, fun. So, okay, so here's, I'm gonna talk a bit about my definition of a perfect save file now. Part 1.
I pressed on deeper into the
Have
underground.
every outfit. That's simple. Have every outfit, have one of every weapon tree maxed out. So like for max, that would be a maxed out wrench and a maxed out, legend, right? I have backup save files of everything important here because I know myself at some point I'm gonna accidentally do that. You know, like I want to make sure nothing, like I backup save files are important. Always keep backups. That's today's fun little lesson. But anyway, so maxed out of every weapon type. So a maxed out machine gun, a maxed out normal gun, a max, like everything. For Monica swords, that means a maxed out of every different type of one in terms of what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, also, but I just realized I've not gotten a single repair powder so far. My luck with repair powder's not been great lately. Like, it has been noticeably bad, actually, to be specific. So that kind of sucks. Okay. I don't know why I shot one more time. That was foolish. It's okay. I didn't need that XP. Anyway, so all photographs, all inventions, basically all 100% stuff, you know. The big one is one of each weapon and one of each unique weapon. So one of each maxed out weapon and then one of each unique weapon. So like Jirax's gun, use the weapon name thing to get the ruler's sword or whatever it's called, Monika's starting weapon, that she only has in that one cutscene at the beginning of the game. That, you know, all that basic stuff of all of that. And then we want a save file at each chapter of having done things as early as possible. And what I mean by that is any time we can phase through a star door, we must phase through a star door and complete what's behind it. So that's where we're at. I might do more specific things, but that's the basic gist of what we're doing here. That's, you know, that's the basic part one of what the plan is. Yeah. Got hit by a yawn. By a big yawn, too. I don't know why I'm going this way. I didn't even look at the challenge for this floor. Probably wasn't something I could actually have done. Attack and defeat all enemies using only items. Okay, yeah, that's not possible to do without at least 20 bombs. And even with 20 bombs, it is obnoxious, and I'm never doing it with only 20 bombs again. Because bats are a real pain to hit with bombs. Easy. Okay, got some scraps of metal. Wahoo, just what I wanted. Scraps of useless metal. How did the game know? How did the game know that's what I wanted? Also, when I say maxed out, I do not just mean stats. I do not just mean the normal stats you might think of. I mean weapon HP too. Just to be clear. And anyone who knows how you do that just went, why would you do that to yourself? To which I just vaguely motion to everything I do and go, why not? Why wouldn't I? What makes you think I wouldn't at this point? Because I hate to break it to you, but whatever your opinion of me not doing that, you are incorrect. Easy. And shoot those jerks up there. Easy game, easy life. All monsters defeated.
Takes care of you guys.
But yeah, I'm also, I like how all monsters defeated just opened the door for me. Like I didn't have to open it. I always think that's funny that that does that. Yeah, I'll break the boxes. I got a gun repair powder out of one of them, so that was obviously worth it. But yeah, so that's the goal, as it were. That's where we're at. That's what we're going for. That's That's the mission. Whether we successfully make that mission or not remains to be seen, but that's the goal. Oh boy. So much repair powder in this room. It was absolutely worth it to come here. Yeah, I don't have any further thoughts other than let's get going. There's much to do. Did not mean to heal myself there. Glad this isn't a no healing floor. That would have been embarrassing. I've done that on a no heal floor before, I'm sure. Does not make it less embarrassing though. Yeah, the pond counted. Bummer. Anyway, attacking defeat all enemies using only Max's right hand weapon. Sure. I'm sure we can manage it. Shut up, Max. I don't care what you have to say right now. I, in fact, do not care about your opinion at all. So I'm probably gonna be actually going back and finishing some old challenges that I used to do again, just because I can. Like, I just want to. And also, a lot of those challenges were good for my channel, so as I've talked about previously, because I am currently unemployed, I don't have the leeway to not at least try to turn this into something that at least pays for itself. Yeah. You know, my gaming has to at least pay for itself now. And this is the only way I can realistically do that. So here we are. I actually don't know if I will, like, do this challenge, or like how I'm going to structure this in terms of like doing it every day or whatever. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I might do this challenge until it's done. I might just not. Also, I should check something. I do wonder what concessions you would make for a perfect save file without having a second save file to draw from. I think that's an interesting question. Because I don't think there's much of a question for like I feel like what I came up with for perfect save file, like anyone who cared about quote unquote perfect save files for games would come to that, you know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really matter. That's kind of the conclusion anyone would come to. So I think that, like, definitely that's not that different. You know? But I think there's definitely a lot of different, you could prioritize things differently if you actually had to deal with the limits that not being able to effectively get a bunch of extra medals would do. Easy. Ow. Get smacked. Also, I should be clear, this is a perfect save file glitchless. Because I think if you allow glitches, then there's no meaningful distinction in the game. Because if you really want to get into it, you can make any item with the glitches in this game.
Which shall it be?
Any item.
Very good.
Like, there are full just... They're a pain because, as far as I'm aware, there's no, like, Nobody anywhere has released a perfect map that I'm aware of for how those work. Like, but you know that they exist. So all you'd have to do is effectively cycle through every item in the game until you found the ones you wanted. Which, like, don't get me wrong, that sounds obnoxious, but you could do it, and that kind of ruins the fun. You know, because the fun is fundamentally collecting things. That's what makes this fun, right? It is playing the game. And the glitches are really fun for like speed runs, and I'm absolutely going to use them to save me hundreds of hours of grinding if it works the way I hope it does. And it's not just you could theoretically through shenanigans get the items out, but you could actually just sit there, mash a button, and dupe. You know, if I can do that, I'm gonna do that, but it's gonna be for very specific reasons and not in this challenge. Oh, I wanted to check Twitch, right? Because I wanted to specifically check I wanted to check something very specific. I wanted to go over here to Twitch, then Plot 2. I want to see if it shows. Yeah, it just shows journey to an even more perfect save file. So I'm going to change that. I'm gonna change my stream title to just perfect save file ? There we go. I just wanted to change it to something that was like perfect save file is the most important part of that, and journey to a perfect save file, which is what I call the original thing, worked. But journey to an even more perfect save file is too long, evidently. It gets cut off before the perfect save file part, which means it doesn't work as a name. I'm actually not entirely certain that perfect save file worked, or journey to a perfect save file worked as a name, but it did okay streaming wise, so I guess it must have. I'm not certain, but I don't know. I did it 2 years ago and I barely knew anything about streaming. I still don't know much about streaming, to be honest. Like, even at this point, I'm still like, haha, yeah, I'm funny, not so funny streamer. I play games and I talk. That's all I've got, man. I don't know. I've always had the mentality of like, if streaming ever does better is when I'll worry about putting more effort into it and learning more things about it. Other than that, what I absorb by osmosis will be good enough. And I kind of still hold that. Like, I might do more in terms of like, also work to battle wrench +4. Okay. I'm not sure if I want to just make a good wrench, like a better wrench that's kind of just made to be junked, or not. I don't know. Maybe. You know, just one that like I throw actual crystals on, whose fundamental purpose is to later just be broken down at some point in the future. I don't know. I'll figure it out. To the next floor. Woohoo! Okay, now we get to do the fun part of learning how to invent things. It's gonna be great. Oh no! The enemy is invincible. But I can do cool backflips, so, you know, who's the real winner? Okay, well. I was trying to do another backflip. My backflip attempts did not go great.
It's no good. I'll never win like this.
Sure won't. I really need to play Rogue Galaxy. I have it. I just haven't played it yet. I'd do that after this. Yeah, maybe once I'm done reminiscing about Dark Cloud 2, I'll actually play the next level 5 game after it. Okay, so let's put the camera where it belongs and where it stays for like the rest of the game. Constructors 1. I don't think anything in this direction other than stuff that you can get elsewhere is 1, unfortunately. I think for some reason none of this counts as its item, like, oh, the table does, but that's not a bed right there. Don't worry about it. It's just not a bed. 1 box counts at least. So at least there's that. Those aren't dressers and drawers. No. I'd never be what that is. I always think it's funny what things they missed and forgot to make work with this system. I always think that's an interesting... Yeah, I know that is something, isn't it? Am I misremembering? Which would be kind of impressive considering that I've done this like multiple times in the last couple of days. Honestly, it's kind of impressive that I misremembered, evidently. Binoculars. Vacuum bag. I need the auto reader. So I gotta walk over here. There we go. Okay, that should be everything in here. Let's go get belt before the time of day gets too much later. Hey, let me have a picture of yon belt. Thank you. That's all I needed from you. Also, let's... Oh, wait, okay, there we go. Let's go into the Abyss. Is it the Abyss today? It's not. Okay. Post is in here. I don't remember which one of these things it is, but I know post is in here. Hello, please, something count. There we go. There were not a lot of pictures in that, or not a lot of ideas in that set of 30 pictures, but we did our very best. Rubbery bench. At some point we'll have to actually go through and get the specific things, but that's good enough. If you're wondering why I called this the Void, it's because that room is glitchy on this version of the game. And sometimes it is just a void, which I think is kind of funny. But like, that is how it looks. That's what happens to it sometimes. I didn't think that was a post. There's flag. Okay, now we go in here and we get bread. I think is actually pretty much it other than oven. Also, I'd just like to remind everyone that oven is not how you make bread in this game. Don't tell that to Polly, though. I think it's like fireplace or firehouse. It's whatever Max's thing is called at his house. Is how you make bread. I think that's both hilarious and very sad. Also, Max is also very picky about chandeliers, but these count, so it's fine. There's the refrigerator. Please give it to me. Thank you. clock and phonograph again. Anything else that's new in here? Book. Wheat flour. Vending machine. Do I have window yet? That doesn't count, evidently. Okay, if you say so, game. You know what? You're right. That's not window. How foolish of me. Why would I think that was a window? Like, that's my mistake, honestly. Like, my bad. That's what a window looks like. Traffic light, drawbridge, river, tree. Don't know if I have parasol yet, but I sure do now. Already got manhole, but I'm getting it again. Okay. Don't know if I have mailbox, but I do now. Got the weapon shop sign, then into the weapon shop to get sword, shield, and Iron Maiden. And gold house. And show window. There's weapon. There's Iron Maiden. Chest not being one is an absolute crime. Also, the chest not being openable is an absolute crime, even if it had nothing in it. Like, I would have been fine if it had literally nothing in it. It's that you can't even open it. That is, in my mind, the biggest crime. Like, it's not even openable. Like, what's up with that? How could they? Okay, we should go down to the train station. That's the last, like, big area with, ideas remaining. I'm not gonna be like, make sure that I have everything, especially not in this save file, but I am going to make sure that I have all of the missable stuff. And I'm gonna try and get a big enough collection that I don't need to worry about collecting it later. You know? Like, there's not very many invention ideas that you actually need to do literally anything in this game, but I would still like to have a lot. Okay, light. Please give me car. There we go. You gave me a light, but didn't want to give me a car. Like, what was up with that? Oh, wait, isn't there a wheel in there? Or am I thinking of a different room? I'm gonna check, though. No, it's in here. Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. Nothing else above me? Okay. Nothing like that to make you remember to look up. I don't really know, like, what kind of streamer or community I even want to make, you know? But, like, I've always, like, kind of held the idea of, like, I'll figure it out, it'll come to me, and then it just kind of never did, you know? Never came. Where did I come from? Where did I go? You know, it just never materialized. Like, and I think it's interesting because I don't know what kind of streamer I want to be, but I know what kind of content I want to make, and I think that's an interesting dichotomy. Because I don't possess the abilities or talents or anything really to make the kind of content I want to make, but I know what kind of content I want to make. I don't know, maybe one day I'll get more serious about actually making it. But I've talked about it before, but I really like GameChamp 3000's content. Like, if I were gonna model my content after anyone, it would definitely be somewhere between, like, Alpharad and GameChamp 3000. Like, if I were to explain myself, the content I would want to make as a cross between two types of content that already exist, it would be those two for sure. But I don't know how to make anything like that. Anyway, let's do that real quick. And then idea to invent, it is belt, milk can, and what's the other one? One second, I'm currently, is it boxed? No.
Oh, no good, huh?
Yeah. Oop, I did not mean to hit that button. Whoops. Wait, can belt and milk can be combined with something else? Oh no, pipe. I'm dumb. Can't believe I forgot that pipe goes in it. Head empty. That's all I'm saying about that one. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I have to say, this is. It makes sense because this is your first invention, but this is the invention that I think makes the most sense to me. Which I definitely think is influenced. Also, I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna see if I can avoid getting the 400 Gilda just because I can. You know, like, who needs money? Not me. So we're gonna see if we can avoid the money. We're gonna see if we can dodge that cash money. Like, we've got enough, Cedric. You don't have to give us any more. So let's see if we can actually successfully dodge it. We need 1 more hunk of copper and 4 scraps of metal. We can pay for that. There's 4 scraps of metal. There's 1 hunk of copper. Okay, okay. Now we're going to go to make. We're just gonna make it. Does he give us the 400 Gilda anyway? Let's go find out. Like, is that skippable? I just want to know. There's no reason to skip it. I just want to know if you can. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason whatsoever to skip this money. I'm just curious. Inquiring Mies want to know, can I jip myself out of money if I want to? I can! Oh my gosh! That's hilarious. Because he did not give me money. He did not reimburse me.
You all set?
That's hilarious.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right.
let's go do this. Also, can I just say, of all the missable things, this one is the meanest. Like, of all the missable things in this game, this one right here is the meanest. Because it's like, take a picture of Linda. But you don't talk to Donnie here. You have no real reason to. You have no reason to talk to Donnie, and thus no reason to find out about Scoops and know that you want a picture of Linda. So, like, it is by far the meanest of the missable Scoops for boss fights, because you have no reason to even know that they're a thing. It is very possible to make it through here. In fact, I think I did on my first time playing without ever talking to Donnie and realizing that taking pictures of enemies is a thing that's missable, right? Like, you have no reason to know that. I have a very distinct memory as a kid of having to restart the game to get Brave Little Linda. And, like, that's rough, because, like, I've been skipping scenes. I'm going as fast as I can, and it still took me an hour to get here, almost. Granted, I took pictures of way more things there than you need to. Like, I got half of all things that are... I'm pretty sure I got everything that's possible to get in Chapter 1. Also, you might look online and go, but the FAQ says you can get 120 ideas in Chapter 1. No, you can't. That FAQ is wrong. And it has been wrong since it was written, because the drawbridge never goes down in Chapter 1. It doesn't. I've tried. It simply does not. There is no point in Chapter 1 at which that drawbridge goes down. I want the metal. I also want XP for the ride pod so I can get the cannons. Oh, I forgot to interact with them and get the tutorial on them earlier. Do, 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 do. Yeah, we want to get the barrel cannon so that way the ride pod can easily make it through life. Well, honestly, I kind of don't want to use the ride pod, so maybe we won't outside of metals. We'll use the ride pod for ride pod enemies and metals and not much else. That's what we'll do. Like, yeah, it makes grinding easier, but it also makes the game less fun. So, you know, there's that. Come on. Oops. Ow. Please. Please show me the other attack. You have another attack. Thank you. Anyway, back to getting that medal. We will let the ride pod get XP when it's the one fighting, just because I'll still need ride pod XP, even if I'm not using it constantly, because getting all the medals for using the ride pod are going to be obnoxious as heck if I don't give it defense. You know? It's a big target. I don't like playing, and I don't like playing don't get hit with the ride pod. I'm bad enough at it when the target's as small as Max and Monica. You know? So we'll let it have the XP for what it kills at least. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Please. Thank you. Okay, now we're gonna go over here and we're gonna kill one of them real quick because I have no way to separate them. We're gonna pick up the abs from it. There we go. Now. Oh, I had it. I got scared. Got it. I hate that they have one of the picture things require that you be super close to the enemy to bait it out. It makes for a really bad picture, you know, like it just makes for really bad photography, and it's like, but this is bad. Why would anyone want this scoop? But it counted, so it's whatever. You know? If it counts, it counts. That's my stance on it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that 66 is actually the maximum you can get in chapter 1 because the drawbridge doesn't go down. Oh, and a little more than 66 because you can get some things at the end of the waterway. 2 more, I think. So 68. So those 68 ideas and 4 scoops, because the 5th one that is listed as chapter 1 in the photography ideas fac is across the drawbridge. It's a river. It's a goes to ruler of the pond. That's the name of it. Talking is hard. But I think it's really funny that was just never corrected on that. Like, is there a version of the game where that bridge goes down? Like, because it never has on any version of the game I've played. Like, there is no point before chapter 2 that bridge goes down, because it doesn't. I've checked, it does not go down between the 2 boss fights that end this chapter. Like, the moment that you could go back and check, it is still up. It has not gone down. So, like, I don't know when people would even take those pictures, because I'm assuming they don't mean glitch across the water, which you can't, by the way, because all of your ways of glitching through things you get in chapter 2. Never forget, chapter 2 is where the glitches begin, because you get both the fishing rod and the ever important monster transformation ability, which are largely where all the glitches in the game live, is in one of those two places. If you want to get through walls, you're using one of those two, possibly both, commonly both even, I'd say. Like, pretty much every impactful glitch in the game uses one of them. I think there's only one notable glitch that doesn't, because I don't think the speedrun glitches that they use to mess with the ride pod require a fishing rod. But I'm not confident because I've never used those glitches, so I'm not confident I know how they work, but those would be the only glitches that don't use the fishing rod or monster transformation. All of the like relevant to your average player glitches require one of those. Also, I'm including lure rod and fishing rod, just for the record. Like the ability to go through star walls, the ability to get out of bounds in general, and the ability to whatever it's called, I don't know. I had further thought in mind, but it doesn't really matter. Point being that that's how it be. Those things are what is required. Hey there, baddie. I got me a baddie. I'm hilarious. You can start clapping now. I don't know. I have a lot of ideas for content. I don't know if I should diversify from just having one channel or not. So I don't want to manage multiple channels. It seems like a real pain. But on the other hand, I recognize that there's a reason every channel that does multiple things branches it off into different channels. Because on every algorithm, whether you're talking about Twitch or YouTube or TikTok or whatever, you're punished for having different kinds of content on the same page. Like, it's a punishment, you know? And I'm not sure I want to subject myself to that. Like, why make things harder for myself than they need to be? Especially at a time when I'm like, yeah, I would actually really like this to be at least a little bit successful. Like it would make my life distinctly easier if it was successful. We're counting King Mimics as ride pod enemies, just for the record. Like just so we're clear, that's a ride pod enemy. I don't think anyone's gonna challenge me on that, but I just want to be crystal clear that is a ride pod enemy. Oh nice, a map. Oh, bummer. Sucks to suck, I guess. Maybe I should start using the diagonal thing. I'm not particularly good at diagonal running in this game, but I recognize that it is good enough that I should be using it. Oop. Anyway, that sucked. It has been a hot second since I saved. What floor did I last save after? I'm really hoping I autopilot saved more than I think I did. It looks like the answer is I last saved before the floor before that. Yeah? Yeah, I saved after Linda though? That is honestly more recently than I thought. I was real worried for a second there. It means I have to get the scoops again, which is annoying, but like it's fine. I was legitimately worried. Like I lost like not even 10 minutes there. That's fine. It's not ideal, but it's fine. I was worried that I had lost like so much. Like I was over here wondering, like, did I just lose all of my invention, all the picture taking? Because that would be no. Ride pick that up. Pick that up, Ride Pod. There you go. Because that would have been real annoying. Also, I'm considering whether part of Perfect Save File should be maxing the Ride Pod in Chapter 1. Because, like, is that foolish? Yeah, no doubt. That is the silliest thing that someone could do. And that's why my brain's like, but wouldn't it be funny? Because, like, it would be really funny. Gotta admit, it just takes so many clears of the floor, please. Please, Bat. I'm begging you. And, like, it'd be hilarious, but it would take tens of hours. Like, it doesn't even take, honestly, all that many abs to max out the Ride Pod. You're getting so little in Chapter 1. So little. It would take so long. But it would be really funny. Oh, wait, I need the... 1 second. Got it. Like how that fire missed max, but because I switched to the Ride Pod, I got hit by it. Because the Ride Pod is chunkier. Smack. Mission successful. Have smacked. Keep accidentally switching before picking up the abs. It's because I'm used to, like, I definitely have that muscle memory for using the Ride Pod for grinding. And it really shows, especially at times like that where I'm like clearly already switching back to max to pick up the abs from the ground. It's like, ooh, I don't want to do that right now, actually. It is, in fact, the opposite of what we want to do. Okay, come on, buddy. I got it. I heard the sound. I'm gonna make sure just to be safe, but I heard the sound. Yep. That's actually a much better photo than I thought I would get of it, to be honest. Back to the Ride Pod. Smack, smack, smack. Easy game, easy life. boy, a channel key. Just what I wanted. Oh boy, an unknown bone. If this were TikTok, I would be an NPC right now. Those would be NPC things to say. Which, I'll be honest, I don't know much about that trend. Like, literally, I think the joke I just made is the extent of my knowledge about it. I have lost so many apps into this hole. Like, I dropped so much down there. What's my controller stuck on? Here we go. That's weird. Also, I just realized my controller's full battery, and I'm on my PS4, not on, or on my PS5, not on my computer. It doesn't need to be plugged in. And if you're wondering, why does your controller need to be plugged in even on your desktop? Bluetooth is funky. Like, PlayStation controllers just don't work right on PC. I just don't feel like buying an Xbox One. I really should one day though. Like, that's on my list of like, I should just have a separate controller for that. That would make life so much easier. Like, I'm not gonna do it, but like I should, you know? Like, I recognize that my life would be easier if I did. Doesn't mean I'm going to, but I recognize my life would be easier if I did, you know? Like, I get that. I understand. But I'm not going to. But I understand it. Like, I got the premise. Anyway, I keep forgetting to do diagonal running. But it is, in fact, a thing I should be doing. I'm not particularly good at it. I need to look up a reminder guide for how to do that at the right angle. You know? Like, look up someone who is showing inputs for it. Like, there's a speedrun scene for this game. That's definitely something that someone speedrunning would use, I imagine, because it works on the Ride Pod too. And I know that Ride Pod is like a big part of how speedrunning works. Oh my gosh, it was a mimic. If you know this game, you were unsurprised by this information, because that screen pops up when you defeat all monsters, and that chest was the only thing left on the map. So it was definitely a, I wonder if this might be a mimic situation, rather than a, oh no, I've been surprised. Anyway, we'll, I'm pretty sure healing the Ride Pod counts, so we'll refuel it too before we go to the next floor. So that way we can try for the without healing thing again, except this time we're gonna be smarter. Yeah, smarter. I know, weird. But we're going to actually save before we go to the next floor. I know. Weird. How could I do such a weird thing?
So there
Bye
it
bye.
is.
Skip. Bye. Don't care what you say. Need. I need you to get out of here. I'm hilarious. Now that I'm done being the most hysterical person alive, I will save. Don't ask about all the save files. I already explained them, and it's not important. If you want to know about the save files, go back an hour. Although I understand not wanting to hear me meander on about things, because that is definitely the style of communication I take on, is meandering. Ow. You know what? I've decided. Darknesses are Ride Pod enemies. I hate how resistant they are to Max's weaponry, so they're Ride Pod enemies now, I've decided. Because they're just annoying. And I don't want to deal with them. So, I don't have to. This isn't a challenge run yet. This is prep for a challenge run. So I don't need to deal with them. I can simply continue on my merry way. You know, like I can just keep on going on my merry way and it is all fine. Smackety, smackety, clickety, clackety. Get over here, frog. I'm on the attackity. I definitely flew right through that poison, but, you know, if the game says I didn't get hit, I mean, who am I to argue? You know, like, who am I to argue with the game? I would never argue with a game over whether something actually hit me or not. I would never do that. Stop picturing all the times I've done that, anyone who's watched me for more than 5 seconds. You stop that right now. I can see those thoughts in your head. I can see them with my great mind-reading powers that I definitely have. And I don't approve of that. What you're thinking right now. I don't approve. In fact, I would much prefer it if you didn't think about that. So, you know, be good. Don't think about it. It's not important. I think it's really funny, like, which ingredients are hard to get a hold of here, and then you'll get later in, like, packs of 10. That was a very unfortunate devil to get on a floor where I can't heal. Like, that was rough. Definitely unlucky. Got some unknown bones. That's nice. Oh boy, some flame crystals. Hey, Froggy. Bye, Froggy. Easy game, easy life. Once again, darknesses, these are ride pod enemies. See? They die in one hit to the ride pod. They must be a ride pod enemy. That's how that works, right? Anything that dies in one hit to a ride pod must be a ride pod enemy? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Okay, that is legitimately a ride pod enemy. We almost have enough to get the only important upgrade to the ride pod. It is the only important upgrade to the ride pod, just to be clear. There is exactly one upgrade to the ride pod that matters, and it's the one that we can now afford. Every other upgrade to the ride pod, irrelevant. Don't get hit. Like, the only other upgrades to the ride pod that matter at all are the ones you need to equip better weapons. Other than that, irrelevant. Don't get hit, Fivehead. Like, all those defensive upgrades don't matter. That being said, we will save for the capacity upgrade, because that one does matter a little bit. So that way we can get better versions of what we can now afford. Like, so we'll still take some experience, you know? Like, it's still nice. So that way we don't have to get it later. I know, I just like following the rule of, like, kill things. Like, when I'm doing a casual run of this game like this is, I like following the rule of kill things with whatever is easiest to kill things with, and let that be how you get XP for that thing. And I think the only time I break that rule is with Monika's armband at the beginning of the game, because her armband starts out really bad. It relies really heavily on having elements and starts out with only fire. And that really sucks for it, which is why it's such a bad weapon in the beginning. And the fact that so many enemies in the forest are weak to fire really doesn't save it much, because all those weapons, all those enemies that are weak to fire are even weaker to sword. You know, it's like everything that the armband can do in the forest, the sword can do better, or the ride pod can. Point is, something does it better. So the armband needs some extra help at the beginning of the game. Once it's got like 2 forms in or so, especially once it's got abs plus or abs whatever, the thing that gets you more abs. once it's got the abs boost, you're golden. Like, it's fine. It is honestly a-okay from that point forward. But man, is the beginning armband noticeably weaker than the other weapons of that tier. Like, the only weapon that starts out even remotely in that same range of weakness is the gun, and the gun is ranged and fast instead of ranged and slow. Which is the main problem that that the armband has, is that it's ranged, but it's so slow. Anyways, we're gonna go here. We're gonna pick up the diamond from Donnie because I have plans for it. I could use it on Max to make, oh, that's right, the chest is up here. I could use it on Max to make his wrench more usable immediately without having to work for it at all. I didn't mean to say be my friend. That was accidental. Dig for a scoop. Yeah, give me the diamond. But I usually use the diamond on Monica's armband because it gives it a little bit of all the elements it needs to function. Because I think the armband, I don't know if this is actually true in the code of the game or not, but the armband is definitely the weapon I notice the elemental differences on the most. I don't know that that's actually true. I don't know why I'm saving again. That was unnecessary. I'm just out here to grab the other two chests. There's the potato pie, and then the other fruit of Eden is right here. Oops, wrong button. Don't know why I want to press square to open a menu. Oh, because I just played Ephemeral Fantasia, that's why. Duh. I was playing Ephemeral Fantasia for a couple of days. That's why I want to press square to open a menu, because that's how that game works. I don't know why I'm about to manually run to the underground channel. That'd be foolish. Anyway, back to the channel reservoir, now that I'm done being silly. We have to take a picture of this stupid clown, and then we can hit it in the face. Skip. We will be skipping all scenes on the casual run until chapter 8, because it's been a really long time since I saw chapter 8 scenes, so I don't mind seeing those ones twice. But every other part of the game I've seen comparatively recently, and I don't feel like, oh, well, you're starting with that. Okay, well, my gun needed more abs anyway, so this is fine. If you're wondering why I'm shooting as slow as I am when the gun can shoot faster, it's because it let them get closer to me, which meant I didn't have to move as much for all of those abs. It was great. I do recommend it. Okay, where do you land? Again? Okay. Like, I've gone entire fights without even seeing this fight, or entire fights without even seeing this move, and it's just like, here you go. I mean, it's great XP for the gun at this point in the game, honestly, but like, I didn't need this. Where is he? There he is. I'm not gonna, don't care. So I'm trying, like, it didn't even get to give me the tutorial on how to fight him because it was too busy dropping those at me. Please. Please. Shoot a missile at me. I dare you. Don't I look so shootable? That's not a missile. Please. Just let me take a picture. I just want to take a picture of your eye when you're shooting a missile. Thank you. Ow. Okay, now I can beat Halloween. Now it wants to shoot missiles. I see how it is. Oh, no, thank you. Please throw a bomb at me. Now that I want it to, it's all like, I don't know, should I throw a bomb? Darn it. I hate that you just can't quite swing fast enough there. You can get really close though. I feel like if you did it just right, you could get that fourth swing in there. I just don't know how to do it. But I feel like it's got to be an option if you did it just right. Like maybe if you were immediately after throwing, you just swapped into Ride Pod and you were already swinging as it hit the ground. You could probably get a fourth hit in. Maybe. Okay, so I just want to illustrate something. We're gonna save. Like we're gonna save, okay? Okay, I just want to illustrate something. That if I go back to the channel entrance and I go back to Palm Springs, we're still in chapter 1, right? I just want to prove that I am right and that Fack is wrong. That bridge is down, is still up. There is no ability to cross this bridge without phasing out of bounds, which I don't even know how you do that without the fishing rod. So there's no way across this bridge. You know, like you can't do it. You cannot cross that bridge until chapter 2. And I'm gonna even illustrate again. I'm gonna go to the channel exit and I'm gonna leave without triggering the scene after this. I'm gonna show you that the drawbridge is in fact still down, or still up, excuse me, that it still has not come down. Please give me the iron bridge, thank you. That I'm gonna go back after having been there, which is like the absolute, if you walk any further down the next scene, you are locked into chapter 2. Like you have no choices past that. You are going to chapter 2 whether you want to or not. Your only choice after that is game overing in the boss fight shortly thereafter. And hey, looky here, this bridge still up. You can't cross it. I promise you can't. It's not an option. Anything on the other side of that you cannot get in chapter 1. If there's a version of the game where that's not true, I haven't played it. Because I'm pretty sure that that's true in the PS2 copy that I have as well. If there is a way to cross that bridge before chapter 2, I don't know it. But the fact for photography says that you can take all those pictures in chapter 1. It's all part of the chapter 1 checklist, and it bothers me every time. Because that scene puts you on the train. You know, we're on the train now. Then we get attacked. We can't leave. You know, leaving is not an option. I'm going to get a picture of these two just so I don't forget, you know. It's important to get a picture of those two things, considering that they are very much missable. Although not, you can't miss out on them for quite a while, but they are missable. And then Flotsam's out here attacking us, being all rude and everything. What? How did that one not hit? Money back on that interaction. That one was kind of deserved. That one swung a bit wide. I'll admit that one. Oh, that was way further than I. How did that one hit? You know, whatever. We'll take it. We will take the generosity on that one, honestly. That's gonna be too late, yeah. Yeah, I should have known that. I'd like to point out that the last time I played this was the first time I'd game over to this in a decade, and it's looking like we're going for number 2 as well. Like, and which is honestly kind of impressive to me, because like, I don't even think I ever lost to this as a kid. Oh no, that's curtains. We're done here. I would never lose in this fight, is what I meant to say. It's only happened once in all my years of playing this game, so it's definitely never happening again.
It's on fire! Do something, you
Yep,
worthless lump!
that's what I was about to say. Was I would never game over there. Like, that one time was a fluke. Anyway, so we get Monica in that, and we are now in chapter 2. This is chapter 2 now. There is no point at which you can go to Palm Springs and that bridge will be down. before chapter 2. It doesn't happen, and I'm still salty about that. I'm mostly salty about it because it's really easily verifiable. Like, it's at the beginning of the game. If it was a transition between like chapters 5 and 6, I think I'd be relatively fine with it, because like, who cares? That's not an important chapter transition, not like between 6 and 7, or 7 and 8. And because it's not an important chapter transition, it's not like, so it doesn't matter, just like this one doesn't matter, but it's also not easily verifiable. You can get to this point if you are, like, you can get to this point in an hour if you're being fast. Like, I just did it and I wasn't even trying. Anyway, upgrade the ride pod. Give me the cannon, thank you. That's all I needed. In fact, that's all I need. That's all the ride pod needs for quite a while. I might get it, some of the other upgrades, just for funsies, because this is a casual playthrough and I'm allowed to use the ride pod, and like a lot of the time I play this game, I'm simply not allowed to use the ride pod, so it's a nice difference, you know? Anyway, I'm going to take from myself the temptation to use this on Max's wrench and put it where it's actually most useful, which is on Monica's Magic Brassard, to give it the early game boost it so desperately needs. So that way it is actually comparable to Monica's sword. Okay, and here we go. If you're wondering at what point we will stop skipping scenes, I might stop skipping them after chapter 3, because while I have replayed this game recently, I only replayed like the first third or so a couple of times, so like I haven't seen much past that. So at some point in chapter 3 or 4 we might stop skipping scenes, just because I'm not as familiar with what's past that, and I don't want to be sitting there going, haha, what was the next step though actually, at any point. And you know, I'll remember what the next step is at every point if I see all the scenes, but skipping them I might forget some things, and I don't want to put myself in that situation, you know? Okay. Skip. And before we go in, we are actually going to go over here and have a grand old time. We're gonna go buy a Gladius. So that way we can start building up Melane's Gladius before Melane complains to us about it. We don't need to do the same for Max's gun, because we're just gonna build up his actual gun. But for Melane's Gladius, we'll do that. Okay. I don't know why I'm about to leave here manually. Sometimes I just manually move in this game, and it's like, why am I doing that, actually? Anyway, attack and defeat all enemies using only Monica's sword. You got it. The Gladius needs to be leveled up. And for this Gladius, we're not doing anything fancy. We're throwing crystals on it to get it up you know? Like, we're just getting it up 2 levels. We're not worrying about it. Like, we don't care about it. We just want Melane to approve of us, and that's kind of it, you know? Because I like recruiting everyone that I can, like, just right in chapter 2, because I think it's easier. About the only person I'm not hard set on recruiting this chapter is the fishing guy, because that's hard to guarantee unless you do it at like the Furbit. Unless you do it like as soon as you get the fishing rod, which we might actually. I don't know. I might do at least a bit of fishing there. Okay, so we got poisoned, which is annoying. But is... Oh, no, there's another Hamara. I can live with getting poisoned. Getting poisoned is an easy fix. You see what I mean? You know what we can't live with? We cannot live with getting slowed. So we are very careful around the Hamaras. Like, we're not letting that happen to us. Friends don't let friends get slowed. Oh, I forgot I need to take a picture of the man eating grass. I'll do that one over there. So I'll just take out the skeletons that are here. And then I'll take the picture of just the grass. Bread. Max has all the bread on him. I only have 2. Oh. Huh. That'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong? I cannot believe I just let those words pass my lips. Anyway, hey Max, you've got a picture to take. There you go. Spooky grass smile thing. That's not the right button. Wrong direction. Monica. Monica's who I meant to switch to from there. Okay, now we've got a Hamara. We gotta be real careful about the Hamara. We're not getting slowed today. We're not gonna let it happen. We are going to avoid getting slowed. We are not letting it happen. I just want to be extra clear with everyone. We're not letting ourselves get slowed today. We're gonna be better than that. Anyway, because this will probably, even if it's not Monica's eventual sword, because I like starting with the long sword, this will be Monica's weapon for a while. We're going to at least get up to +5 at every level, just so that way it's got some points to work with, got high attack, you know, the basics. Like, we don't need to do that, but we're going to do that. Hey, skeleton soldier. Get wrecked. Easy game, easy life. Okay, there's an antidote amulet. At some point I'll start inventing things, but really don't care right now. Oh, whoops. I did an oopsie. Didn't mean to let my weapon break. Okay. Okay, Hamara. Anyway, there's another skeleton soldier defeated. I'm currently remembering how annoying the scoops are in chapter 2, and I'm gonna be doing them for like the 4th time in 3 weeks. Don't question how many times I've played the beginning of this game this month. Nobody needs to know but me. Yeah, it's not important. It's not important. It's a lot though. Important, it is not. A lot, it certainly is. Do I have a key? No. Well, that's annoying. And definitely worth less than what we found in it. Was armband repair the armband repair powder not cheap? Even regular repair powder's not really cheap. Like, weapons are generally cheaper than the repair powder. I don't have a stick for this, do I? I do not. Rough. Oh well, over here we go. There's one room all the way back here that we can go through. So, you know, that's cool. What plus is Gladius at now? 2? Yeah, okay, 2. Yeah, it's already up to 24 attack. Yeah, the Gladius is a pretty good starting sword. I like the longsword better. Just thematically, I like the look of it better than the Gladius. But the Gladius is a fan favorite and I did really like it in Dark Cloud 1. It is one of my favorite weapons in Dark Cloud 1 early game. But you know, details. Smackety smackety. Goodbye, man-eating grassity. Hey, soldier. Time to get beat up. Anyway, I break a rock and I get nothing. I break a rock. When I was playing this with my partner, I started doing that, announcing it every time. Because I don't know what curse my partner brought, but my luck with rocks has been terrible when playing with them. Like, obnoxiously bad the whole way through. Every time I would get to say, I got to say I break a rock and I get nothing so many times that I started saying and I get nothing before I even registered if there was something there or not. It just became habit because I got to say it so many times because I just kept getting nothing out of the rocks. And yeah, like normally a fair amount of the rocks don't give you anything. That's pretty normal. The amount to which I was not getting things was not normal. It was definitely abnormal. Like I think I once went a whole floor without getting anything. I didn't even know you could do that. Like I was starting to question if I'd somehow missed what came out. Did it phase through the floor? Like I was over here questioning reality because I didn't even think that you could go a whole floor without getting anything. I didn't even know that was an option. I always assumed that the rocks, that like the game decided beforehand what was in the rocks, like with the chests, and that, you know, some of them had to have something and that there were just a set number of empty rocks or something. That was how I always assumed it worked, but no, it's not how it works. It is not at all how it works. It does make breaking rocks more exciting though. The lead up of saying that I'm breaking a rock did actually help break up the monotony.
Looks like we got 'em all.
Anyway, there's another medal. But yeah, it's fun. I break a rock and I get nothing. My luck has never gone back to normal. And it's weird because like I haven't bought any repair powder yet so far, right? And I feel like that's pretty normal for me to if I'm not abusing the ride pod. It's pretty easy to make it pretty far in this game without ever buying repair powder. As long as you're switching what kind of weapons you're using pretty frequently, then it's pretty easy to make it pretty far. So I was real surprised when I ran out of repair powder of like every type, like in chapter 2 without abusing the ride pod. I was so confused. I was like, this happens? Since when? Anyway, she gives us some crystals and buffs our thing, and funny story, we're going to use those crystals on her sword instead. Yeah. Sorry, Max. Anyway, there's 2 pictures to take here. There's Torre's nap, and then we're going to blow Torre up. Guess you could really say I tore him a new one. I'm hilarious. There's the dangerous pumpkin picture. We're going to keep grinding Monica because I want her sword to get what it needs. Then we have to grind Max's gun. What's the thing for this floor? I don't even remember. Oh, it's an items floor. That'd be why I don't remember, because it didn't matter. Because we don't have the items to do that. So, moving on. Buddy? He just ran away in the wrong direction. That was interesting. Anyway, but yeah, we have to get Monica's sword up to +5 twice, and then we're good. And then we have to focus on Max's gun and get it up to... Actually, Max's gun doesn't have to get up to +5 twice, it just has to get enough points. We don't care about it beyond that. Because his temporary gun before his permanent gun is going to be so Max's temporary gun is going to be Jirax's gun for a while, until we're actually far enough in the game that I feel like raising a gun for him. Until we reach that point, it's going to be Jirax's gun. You know, because it just doesn't matter. Until I feel like making a good gun for him, Jirax's gun will be good enough. Easy. I think part of the reason I never really... Oh, that's a molar. Also, I just realized that Monica's low on health. I didn't even notice. I should probably fix that. It's what I would say if I didn't need to... Hello? Please look over here. Hey, you've seen me. You want to attack. That was embarrassingly slow reaction right there. Life is hard, man. I'm doing this through a capture card. That's why my reactions are so slow. Ha 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 ha. That's definitely what it is. And not me being bad at video games. Please jump. This is one of the most annoying one of these to do in the game, in my opinion. Please. Too slow. He had touched the ground. Ow. Please. We're doing it the real ignorant way now. Which is we just slam the picture button until it does it. It'll do it eventually. How did that not count? How, game? It jumped at me. I was mashing picture. I take exception to that one. I really didn't think that was going to go around that corner. I hate getting this picture because it is so obnoxiously difficult. And there's some people with better reaction time than me out there going, what do you mean it's easy? And I'm like, shut up. Oh, okay. Okay, it didn't go past that plant a second ago. And then that time it did. I think everyone can forgive me for being like, it won't go past. I believed in the evidence of my own eyes from like 2 seconds before. There we go. Got it. We're done here. Only this would be a sword or some other enemy I attacked, but I don't care. It's getting the Ride Pod treatment today. It's getting the I'm tired of its existence treatment. So, in other words, I'm blowing it up with the ride pod. Max is fine. This is fine. I would appreciate some bread. Some bread would be nice. No? Okay. Bread? Antidote drink. I have a vendetta against Molish right now. Come over here. I'm gonna blow you up. I have a bone to pick with them. They're getting exploded. Hey, bread. Cool. That is actually really appreciated because both of them are low right now. Both of them could use some. So we appreciate the bread drop. Okay, now that we have gotten some health back, I don't care as much. You know, I'm not worried about the timeline where I'm no longer worried about the timeline where I lose Max in a dumb way and then don't have enough health with Monica to eke my way through the rest of the level. You know, not worried about that eventuality anymore. Bumpkinhead, would you know what? That's far enough away from the tree. I'd like these abs. I really thought I was out of range. I forgot how long range the... Hello? Are they so thin that that can't hit them? This can, right? Yeah. It was like, I don't know what was going on there. Like, I was just gonna shoot them, get them out of my way, and then... Okay, Max, time to get revenge, buddy. I hate that I lose lock-on when they go underground. Makes them a much more annoying enemy than they would be otherwise. But Max got some revenge. He got a nice level up on his wrench. All is well with the world. And we have Cedric in our party, so it's even a better than normal level up. Easy. It did get its little trees out though, so we gotta kill those. So that way they don't explode on us, because we would like to not be exploded. Okay, there we go. Got nothing. There's an antidote amulet. Wahoo. Then evil tree, which we consider a ride pod enemy. Honestly, you can fight it with Monica, you can, but I need something to be giving the ride pod abs, so. I mean, look at how flabby it is. Like, how else am I gonna give Steve the workout that he needs to truly get all the abs he needs to be the best Steve he can be? Okay, off we go out of this level and then onward to glory. Wahoo! Off we go. Also, this is just a reminder for anyone who wasn't watching earlier. This is a casual playthrough to prepare for the perfect save file. Because in order to get the perfect save file, you have to have more medals than are in the game. Attack and defeat enemies using only Monica's magic. I can do that. I can do that. Like, I have... Wait, aren't there skeletons on this floor? Ugh. But I put the diamond on Monika's armband, so this shouldn't be too bad. You know, it should be quite possible to do. Like, annoying to... Life is pain. That's the worst thing that could have happened. That was the absolute worst thing that could have happened at the beginning of this one. Why can't Dran's Feather be an item anymore? I miss it. I miss Dran's Feather. I really want someone to just mod Dran's Feather back into this game. Like, I know this is a really old game, and modding it, I'm sure, is annoying and hard, but, like, do it anyway. Ow. Yeah, the skeleton soldiers are going to be the most annoying because they're pretty resistant to magic baseline, and we don't have a lot of exorcism on it. So, you know, that's gonna be the hard part of this for sure. Getting slowed by that Hamara was real unfortunate, but the good news is slow does wear off eventually. So there's that. This is just our life for a while. Oh boy, another skeleton. It's even got a friend. Ow. I took one more shot than I could actually afford to. And I don't really regret it, but I did take one more shot than I could afford to. Okay. Use an armband repair powder. Remember that I can equip these because Max never needs them. Ah, finally, the slow wore off. Thank goodness. Okay, our next goal, don't get slowed again. It's stuck on something. Hit it till it dies. Anyway, so our armband is now stronger, so there's that. You know, it's something for sure. Also, they call it Monika's magic, which implies that she could still do it without an armband, and then the armband is just like enhancing it, which I like conceptually. That, like, you know, she could, like, she had a talent for magic, that's why she can't just pass it off to Max, right? She had a talent for magic baseline, and then the armband is just making it better. You know, it's one of those things that, like, yeah, the game never explicitly says that, but I like that headcanon, so I'm keeping it, and you can't stop me. I really need to look up which angle is best for diagonal running again, because I don't think I'm doing it quite right. And I haven't seen a video on how to do it in a long time, so I don't know how off I am. Like, I know the way I'm running is definitely faster. I just feel like it's not as fast as it could be. It's still definitely faster than running well with the camera facing straight, though. Like, that much is definitely true. So at least there's that. Also, still need some more Cyclone to build up. Okay, noted. Hey there, Hamara. Get out of here, Hamara. You're the worst. Nobody likes you, especially not me. Just so we're clear. You are the absolute worst. Hamaras can slow me, and that makes them the worst things in existence. Anyway, so now that we're on the other side of something from this tortoise, we're just gonna... please. And not that. Please aim at the tortoise, game. Oh, whatever. It's slow as heck anyway. These are not the kind of Tauruses that can roll at you. The amount at which these Tauruses guard, though, is very annoying. Please, Tortoise. Thank you. Anyway, so there's a bit more attack on our armband. We appreciate that. Now we look over at this Hamara and appreciate its death. And now we once again have to slowly kill a tortoise, but you know, that's mostly because it'll be guarding half of our attacks if we're lucky. If we're unlucky, it will guard much more than half. Life is pain. Life is pain! I think sometime I might try to do Final Fantasy 13 Crystarium list, just because I think it's an interesting challenge. Because I don't understand how you do it at all. And it'd be a very interesting way to experience that game, especially now that like I 100%ed it on my own time recently, like mid last year, which is recent to me, I guess. Didn't know that was recent. Was that mid last year or was that earlier this year? I don't know. Time is a construct and everything blends together. No thank you, Hamara. Go to hell. I'm not joining you there. Get going. One thing that I think is like better in terms of balance, but also worse in terms of I can't cheese the game anymore, is that this, in this, you have to, when you spectrumize in this to build weapons up, you have to put it on the weapon all the way. You can't half put it on the weapon like you can in Dark Cloud 1, where oftentimes if you had really nice things, you would just keep them, you wouldn't put them all the way on a weapon, you would just have them in the slots and then take them off before you synthed it, or before you leveled it up. And that I think is a very interesting difference. It also means that you don't have to manage it. What does one mean by the perfect save file? Okay, so step 1, have every unique item in the game in your inventory. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. But the reason that you have to prep by doing a save file beforehand is because that includes all of the things that you can buy with medals and the ruler sword from the beginning of the game that you only see. It's ruler sword or royal sword, one of the two, that you only see that in that opening cutscene with Monaco. And you don't actually have enough medals to get all of that, so you have to start the game with some through trickery, which I'll get into in a second. So every outfit, 100% golf completion, every medal, have won the fishing competitions until you stop getting unique things from them, which I don't remember how many you have to win for that, but win the fishing competitions, however much that is. I never did the fishing competitions much. I don't remember. Unless I'm doing a challenge like this, I typically ignore them. But definitely 100% golf completion. Get every medal in the game. Have one of every weapon type maxed. And I don't just mean like all of Max's weapon, like Max's 2 weapons. I mean like have both a wrench and a hammer. So effectively have every max tier weapon. And then all the unique ones like Jirax's gun and stuff like that you can only get one of. So that's the beginning. Ow. In order to have enough medals to both get all the outfits that you get from medals and get oh, thank you. Bad skeleton soldier. Bad skeleton soldier. Perish. Anyway, in order to get both all of the outfits and get the unique weapons that you have to name change ticket in order to have, for both of those things to be true, there's not enough medals in the game baseline, but you can, when starting a new save file, have whatever outfits equipped that you have in your inventory. So if you buy all the medals, you did not. I promise you. You got a coin from a chest probably, but you can't get medals from a chest. At least I have never heard of such a thing or experienced such a thing myself. Because there is a limited number of medals in the game. But I'm fairly confident that you can't get them from a chest. Because if you could use name change ticket as much as you wanted, and you're not allowed to do that for balance reasons. Because that would mean that you could potentially name change ticket, like for example, a love or an island king, like super early, if you could get them from a chest. Part of the reason for a lot of the medals being locked behind time trials and fishing and things like that is so that way if you want to use the name change ticket, it's actually pretty hard to get the required amount of medals without doing an obnoxious amount of things. So that way you can't just be like, oh yeah, I can just have 40 medals and laugh. But I've certainly never seen anyone get medals from a chest. You can get coins from chests. They're rare but possible, but I've never seen anyone get a medal. But yeah, trying to think if there's any other definitions for perfect save file. I'm considering doing you must glitch to phase through every star door that you can in the chapter that you can first get to it, but I'm not set on that yet. I just think it's funny. We'll see how I feel about it, because doing it in chapter 2 is really annoying. Chapter 3 is really easy because you have Sphida. Before you have Sphida, it's really annoying to phase through those star doors because you have to wait for one of the angel devil coins to be close enough to the wall. And other than that, a perfect save file is basic 100% completion stuff. Have every character recruited, and then have oh, we're already at Greyfish Swamps. I didn't even realize I'd done that many floors. So have everybody recruited, have everything complete, basically. I forget what else I was going to say there. That I considered basic completion stuff, but yeah, just basic completion stuff. The kind of things that you would do in this game if you were 100%ing it beyond just platinuming it. Yes, that will be a long while. Not as long as you would think, because a lot of that, like doing the weapons sounds like it would take forever, but I'm gonna do the weapons in chapter 8. In which case it's gonna take like less than an hour per weapon. You know, maybe a little more than that. Because in chapter 8 you can get enough abs to just have a massive line of battle wrenches, all like 30 of them or so that you need to max out a weapon, and just get them all up to true battle wrench plus 5s with everything. Get them all up to max true battle wrench plus 5s to throw into whatever weapon you want to max out. Like, it doesn't actually take that long, at least not as long as you would think. It takes surprisingly little time. Anyways, let's talk to this guy, get our fishing rod. Is this unskippable? That's annoying. Anyway, the Furbits are crazy. That's the takeaway from this scene.
So I'm just killing time with a little fishing.
Also, I just want to remind everyone that from the text of the game, this guy has been killing time with a little fishing for multiple months. And I can respect that. And if you're wondering why I know it's multiple months, it's because we know that Holly first appears to them a year ago. The Furbids directly say that. And they say that some amount of weeks is how long Holly stays with them. You know, like some amount of weeks. We're not told exactly how long, but it's definitely less than half a year if it's being measured in weeks. Like almost certainly. So that's pretty probable that that he's just been sitting here for at least 6 months, because Holly goes missing, and then like within like a couple of days they send out the search party for Holly, right? And so they only make it this far, which is not very far into the forest. So like they've made it here probably within the first day or two at most, and then they just kind of sat here for years.
You know what? I'm pretty thirsty. You wouldn't have something to drink now, would you?
I think it's hilarious.
Something smells good, that's for sure.
Like, they just sat here for years. Or for months. Like, honestly, gotta admire his commitment to his friends. He's like, no matter how long it takes,
Here,
I'm
you
waiting.
can have my rod. Come back anytime if you're...
Also, he's like, here, you can have my rod, but he's got a spare. Like, he didn't need this one. Anyway, time to do some fishing. Because this is the only time you have infinite bait, so we're going to... Oh, right. Doesn't let you do that. So we're going to take advantage of having infinite bait real quick. Also, fun fact, you can equip anything you want for fishing. Like, let's use some holy water to fish. Let's see, what's the command set? It's this, and then that, and then that. Yep, there you go. You can fish with holy water. It does nothing. It does literally nothing. This glitch is not useless, because there are some edge case weird things you can do with it. But the actual fishing part of it, it does nothing. It does nothing. Nothing will ever bite with anything that doesn't render on the fishing hook. Unfortunately, you cannot just use unintended items to fish. It'd be hilarious if you could, though, but you can't. They don't have any data for what they can catch. There's no fish that want them, basically. But it is really funny that you can just equip whatever. What's even funnier is how is it? If you bump it off like that, is that what? No. Okay, there's a way that you can remove it from the rod when you equip something that's not a fish, that's not actually bait. Where if you remove it from the rod the right way, it zeroes out its stats, which I think is hilarious. You can either, when you equip something that's not supposed to be on the fishing rod, zero out its stats, or or return its stats to default value, depending on how you get it off the rod. And I think that's funny. Yeah. Also, if you want to see more funny glitches, I personally follow, I think the YouTube name is Pokemon Fan 4000, and Pokemon Fan 4000 has tons of videos up about various glitches. Great resource for if you're interested in that kind of thing. Anyway, I'm gonna do a little bit of fishing. Mostly I'm just taking advantage of the infinite bait here to see if I can get the stats to get a Nonky big enough for the one guy that you have to recruit with one, just because it's convenient. I think the first thing I should pump is luck, right? Like, I know I love having even stats. It makes my heart happy, but I don't feel like being here longer than I have to be for fishing, so we're pumping luck first. That being said, this fish is pretty big. Please be a Nonky. It'd be really funny if I had just immediately caught a Nonky that was big enough. No, it's a Priscline. Bummer. It would have been big enough, though. It's just not a Nonky. Which I think would have been really funny. Oh, I have to unequip this every time. Life is pain. Anyway, I do think it's funny that he only gives you one Mimi to start with and is then surprised that you almost immediately run out of bait, and then next he just gives you 5. And it's like, you should have led with that, dude. Why didn't you lead with that, actually? Seems kind of silly. Seems kind of silly to not lead with, here's a 5 bait at least. Like, they're like, go try out fishing. Like, here's your 1 bait. Come to me when you inevitably need more. Oh, there it is. Oh, this one's pretty small. Anyway, yeah, we're just gonna pump luck until we get a big enough Nonky. Or until my luck is big enough that, like, I feel like I could get a big enough Nonky pretty easily. Like, we're effectively here until I feel safe and that I'm not gonna have to wait to get that. Yeah, because we start with 2 luck. I don't actually know how much luck affects it, honestly. I never really got all that into the fishing in this game. That being said, this is one of my favorite fishing minigames in general, though. I actually really like this fishing minigame. It's got stats, it's fun to do, it's skill-based rather than just you wait around, which is what a lot of fishing games are, particularly in MMOs. Especially when my 2 favorite MMOs previously have been World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV. At least Final Fantasy XIV has spearfishing. It's something. But yeah, I just really appreciate that in Dark Cloud 2, they really went all out with the fishing minigame, and I appreciate that. Like, they did not phone the fishing minigame in, and I really appreciate that. Like, they actually made it, like, interesting. I have to actually pay attention to play it. And just like any good JRPG, if I really don't want to pay attention to play it, I can grind my way to being able to ignore the safety thing over there by just making my rod stats better. Like, it's got everything you want from a JRPG fishing minigame. There's skill to be had, and you can ignore it by grinding. Is that not the platonic ideal of how you want a JRPG to function? Because that's my platonic ideal of how I want a JRPG to function. Anyway, increase our luck, and then slap another Mimi back on the fishing hook and continue fishing. But yeah, we're gonna fish to get our luck up while we have access to infinite bait. Once our luck is high enough that we're good, I'll just move on. Because I don't care about fishing being, like, hard. Like, that's fine, honestly. I'll probably improve strength and resilience at some point later, just because it's more convenient. If those are higher, but, like, I don't care about them being low right now. I'll improve them when I'm actually... Excuse me, when I'm actually doing fishing for all the medals, because that's when it matters more, right? The first thing that matters is luck, because if I'm not getting a big enough fish, then it doesn't matter, right? Also, to go back to how long I expect this to take, the casual playthrough of the game's probably somewhere between 30 and 40 hours, maybe a little longer. I don't know. I'm not trying to hurry it, so who knows how long it'll actually be. As far as the perfect save file that'll come after, that's going to take longer. The perfect save file afterwards is going to be probably more like another 60 hours. Hey, that's big enough Nonky. We're done here. It's just that easy. Honestly, I'm amazed we got that fast. Anyway, we'll just leave that Nonky in our inventory. And all is well. Yeah, let's go. We also have the Priscline that we will need in just a second. Do I have a poison apple? Please tell me I got a poison apple. Okay, good. I always have that moment right here where I'm like, wait, I need a poison apple. Do I have one? You know? I always have that moment. It's honestly kind of silly because, like, it's not like it's hard to get a poison apple. I think there's even a decent chance that Uton up here will give you one. I just don't remember. Udon? What's his name? Something like that. Don't care. I do care about getting a picture of you, Uton. Okay, cool. Great Holy One, this one's a Divine Concentrated Quiz. Don't fish it out of the water, that'd be bad. Also, I have to say, I understand why this isn't actually a thing, but I really wish that fishing him out of the water actually took Can I skip the scene by already being fishing when I walk up to this? No. Okay, it still scenes you. They thought of that one. Fishing breaks many things, but not that. Anyway, do that, and then put on the fishing hook. There we go. Now we start fishing. Whoosh. I really wish this actually activated the fishing minigame. I get why it doesn't, because there'd be no justification for you not being able to pull in with ease anything else if your line didn't break here. You know, like if your line could pull this up, there's no reason it wouldn't be able to pull literally anything else ever in the game. But yeah, this is probably a 100-hour challenge, maybe a bit more. I don't know. Depends how fast I do it and if I add anything midway through. Okay, there's the picture. I have a Priscline, please. I'm not sure I'd call either of these Prisclines small, but I have a Priscline. So anyway, we did it. Now let's go back over here and admire that all the Furbits have been saved. Wahoo! We've done it. Look at us, so good at life and stuff and things. You know, for being 2 hours in, I think being, what, a third of the way through chapter 2, pretty good. But the funny thing about if I decide part of the perfect save file is, I don't know why I'm walking. I make that decision too often where I'm just like, I start walking back. Why am I doing that? Couldn't tell you. But I think one of the funny things about if I decide part of the perfect save file is glitching through the star doors. If I decide that that's part of a perfect save file, then there's an interesting caveat there, because that means that chapter 6 is almost non-existent. Because I think the only star door you can't get through with glitching is the water cave one, I think. 1 second, I'm just gonna take a picture of the things here. Oh, where's some grass? There's some grass. There we go. Now we go over here, take a picture of Withered Jurak. Easy. Now let's go over here and go inside. Skip the scene. This boots me all the way out of Sindan, doesn't it? So I really want to get the ideas that are inside their house while I'm thinking about it. It does. It's going to. I can feel it. It's going to boot me all the way out. No, stop. Please. Show mercy. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'll be good. I promise.
Max, look!
No. She's like, Max, look. No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to look. I will go to the future, though. But not because you told me to. Because I want to. Also, fun fact, if you skip this scene, it just flashbangs you for longer, because this is a hidden loading screen. I will say, I now very much resent the fact that it fades to white. My eyes didn't deserve that. Nobody's did. Like, nobody's eyes deserved what just happened to them. Anyway, there's a Fruit of Eden. I think there should be a potato pie around somewhere. Because they give you an extra potato pie here early. One, because, you know, someone's got to get their buff first. But two, it's so that way if you didn't realize there were ones in Palm Brinks, Max isn't just screwed. It serves a nice double purpose, really. Is there not another one? I thought there was another Fruit of Eden available at this point. It might also just be blind. You know, it could be. Honestly, it would not be surprising. I am pretty blind sometimes. Okay, yeah, I don't see anything. Okay, you know, lately it's been kind of lonely. Feels like something big's missing, you know. Anyway, don't worry about it, man. Nothing's missing. Nothing's wrong. Don't worry about it. It's not important. Yeah, I recommend just looking away from the screen whenever I transition between past and future. That's what I do. Okay, use that on Max, then use that on Max. We always get Fruit of Eden to Max first because, you know, Monica going down doesn't really matter that much. Max going down means we can't use the ride pod, which means that we don't have a get out of jail free card. And that's how you die in stupid ways in this game. Okay, anyway, off we go to get more, stuff. I don't know if I want to try and phase through the... I don't want to phase through the Star Wall in this chapter, actually. Hard no. I could, I don't want to. Because in order to phase through the Star Wall in this chapter, you have to do a lot of annoying things. You have to get the skeleton form, and then just keep rerunning the Star Door floor repeatedly until an Angel Devil coin just happens to be close enough to the barrier, or close enough to the wall, that you can use the skeleton to glitch through the wall. And like getting a skeleton badge, not that hard. Pretty easy, in fact. Oh, maxing out the monster transformations. That's the other thing I was thinking would just be considered normal game completion stuff.
Hey,
yeah.
you're back.
Max leveling them at least. I'm not sure I want to actually select the monster transformations, because that locks you out of things. So I'll probably have one version of the save file where I did select them and the other where I didn't, and do not use the monster drops. Those are unique items. Keep those. Yeah, because like the platonic ideal of a perfect save file is ultimately that you could choose to do those other things if you wanted to. Like, I'd say that's... Oh, attack and defeat all enemies using only your iPod? Sure, easy. I'd say that's, in fact, the big difference between a 100% save file and a perfect save file, is a perfect save file is less concerned with direct completion and more concerned with the ability to complete things. You know what I mean? Like, you direct complete everything you can, and but you don't remove options from yourself if at all possible, while still completing everything. I think that's usually the distinction. Like, when you're talking about a perfect save file for like Final Fantasy VII. That's the distinction I see there, and I think that's the game that I'm most familiar with people talking about wanting perfect save files for, and it actually being a topic of conversation, because there's, you know, ways that you could define Final Fantasy VII's perfect save file in a lot of different ways, compared to, say, like, you know, you can perfect file a lot of Final Fantasy games, but like typically all you have to do for them is not use unique items that you don't have to, and that's like, you know, pretty plain, pretty boring. Like, and then there's like, what does a perfect save file for Elden Ring look like? It looks like choosing the lands between rune, not using it, and then 100%ing the game and getting everything in your inventory, which is a pretty, like, aside from having to choose a specific starting item and not using its benefit, is pretty normal and not super interesting. You know, there's not a discussion there to be had about what a perfect save file means. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's pretty clear what a perfect save file is, because there's only one thing that's even in question, because that happens a lot with games where New Game Plus is a thing that exists, because then it becomes much more a question of completion, in a way that like this just isn't. Use on max, continue on. I don't know why I'm still walking around as the ride pod. Kind of unnecessary, but I did it anyway, so you know, it's fine. I see. Okay. It's one of those days, you know? Double. Always lose the coin flip. I break a rock, and I get gun repair powder. We actually appreciate that. Hello, Mimic. Goodbye, Mimic. We're going to very much enjoy being ranged right now, because in Chapter 3, we're going to distinctly avoid being ranged. And if you don't know why, it's because of the stupid guys that block their front. They're annoying to kill with a ride pod if you can't guard. And while they're not normal ride pod enemies, there are floors with them where you have to defeat all enemies with a ride pod. So we want a melee weapon that's as strong as the cannons. And just because I'm too lazy to be swapping weapons all the time, we'll just keep the melee weapon out. You know, it's easier. It'll be Clown Hands, if you're wondering. Because while Cannonball Arm 2 is a little bit stronger technically, Clown Hands are cheaper to make and funnier, and the combination means they will be what we're picking. But we won't make those until Chapter 3. I don't care about making it before then. I always get sad when I have to start making things, because you can't reorganize the make menu, and there's no good way to do it, because Energy Barrel just isn't what you'd want to start with. Like, that is my one biggest complaint about the way this game works, is that you can't reorder that. That's like one of my few like legitimate, man, I really wish that were different things, because it is actually bad. Yeah, that is like, I don't have very many complaints with this game overall, I feel, but that is actually one of them. Okay. So at this rate, I'm definitely going to get Monica's sword finished. I'm definitely not going to get... Am I even going to get Monica's sword finished? Maybe not. I might have to actually stop giving the ride pod so much XP, but I want to make sure that I have enough for the rollerblades, because that's a really nice upgrade. It feels so much better. And I don't think you can invent them for a little bit, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong though. I'll double check that before we get there. On the casual run, I'm gonna try and not repeat floors until the point at which I'm going back for medals. You know? Like, that's the point at which I am more okay with repeating floors, because before then I'd really just like to you know, to keep this moving forward. Okay. Yeah, before then I'd like to just keep it moving. Because there's really no point to grinding early in the game if you can avoid it at all. You know, the later in the game you get, the better grinding is. Actually, I can avoid grinding entirely by doing the thing where you buy the gun for his dad, because I think doesn't the weapon store in Jirak's place do it? And I know that you build a fence. That's what you do to get it. So I can just do that. It's easy enough anyway. Easier than doing anything else, that's for sure. There's that one lone chest all the way over there, and I'm gonna go get it. I don't know why I didn't go down that little hallway. I guess I just didn't. I don't know. I don't have a good reason for why I didn't. Probably just didn't realize it was a hallway, and then never came back. It happens sometimes, especially when I'm more focused on keeping random things coming out of my mouth than I am on playing the game. I actually really think that, like, of my stream games, I think Dark Cloud 2 is one of my favorite stream games that I've played, just because I'm so familiar with it. Like, I get why there are streamers out there who, like, only play, like, a couple of games now. Because if I'm playing Dark Cloud 2, I can not pay attention and still do good enough. You know? Like, I can be completely checked out mentally and focused more on keeping myself talking, and therefore not actually care about the fact that I'm doing this at all. You know? Like, Dark Cloud 2 can happen in the background for me because my brain's so used to playing this game. I'll probably start... Maybe I should play more games that I played a lot as a kid, to the point that I have that kind of familiarity with them. What other games would that be? What, Final Fantasy 13? Earthbound, definitely. I can do that without thinking. At least the first several areas of it. Attack and defeat all enemies using only Max's gun. No, because I remember what enemy starts appearing on this floor. This is the floor that the robot jerks start appearing for this area. So no thank you. I politely decline. Generous offer. One second. I'm going to look at how many scoops I have. Okay. I believe I should have 13 at the end of this chapter, and one of those is the butterfly, one of those is the fuchsia stem, and one of those is Gumoyel. So that should be everything. So that tells me that I've gotten all of them so far, and I will use the gun to get Gumoyel. It's pretty easy. But yeah, this is the first floor these things show up on, and I'll be lucky if my gun does 1 damage to them. Don't know why I didn't give the abs there to the ride pod, but oh well. When I'm actually doing the perfect save file, I will probably minimize the use of the ride pod, just because I think it makes the game more interesting if you're only using it when you have to. But for this first part, I'm gonna use it liberally just because I don't want this to take very long. This is just setup, you know? Like, this is fundamentally just prelude. At some point I should make the barrel pack upgrade, but that requires that you Fry. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That requires that I have better capacity. Because fun fact, I tried once, you can invent the energy pack right at the beginning of the game. And if you kill enough rats, you can have enough rolling logs to make it even. But the base ride pod doesn't have the capacity to have it equipped. Even with the cannonball arm, it just doesn't. It's too hefty. Very sad. I don't know why I killed that with the ride pod, to be honest. That was just habit right there. That was me going, I shoot with ride pod. Not a thought in my head other than that, you know, that was complete and total shoot the enemy autopilot right there. Wahoo! I'm so enjoying my new headphones. They are so nice. I do honestly recommend that people get better headphones. I'm not sure I'd recommend this specific pair, because while I really like the sound quality, and I really like how much they don't block out my hearing of other things too, I live in a pretty quiet area. Not blocking out my hearing of other things is a boon to me, but I think it's not to a lot of people. You know, like, I'm like, that's nice because I live in a pretty quiet area. I feel like if you lived somewhere where it was louder, or if you had a loud family, or you were like living in an apartment, headphones that don't block out other sounds around you might very much not be something you would want. Plus I honestly don't remember what these are. I'll be real. I don't have a great head for remembering what products are, so also I just realized I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I didn't even catch that. I should probably stop soon. I have other things I need to do today. I'll be back to streaming tomorrow. But yeah, I'll probably stop after this floor. Just because I do in fact have other things I must do today. Like, I'm pretty sure if I keep streaming too much longer, my partner will be giving me very sad eyes, because I usually spend evenings with them. I use a rock to do nothing. Gotta remember to actually get levels on this Gladius, or it's not gonna be able to become a Chopper, I think is the third, as 2 levels above it, I think. I don't remember. You'd think I would, like, it's not been very long since I did this quest. You'd think I would remember that, but head empty. I feel like that's the story of my life right now, where it's like, you think I'd know that or remember that, but head empty, so I don't. Yeah. I have the hiccups. They are here to end me. Don't send help. Don't send help, but do send thoughts and prayers. I did not realize how bad swords were against these. I guess I've never really used a sword to kill one of those. Huh. Learned something new. Anyway, Red Pod. Destroy the Sonic Bomber and absorb its powers as your own. Yes. Also, on the one hand, I love that Steve talks. On the other, I actually think Steve should talk more. I want settings, like, I want something like Steve, and then I want, like, the ability to set how often he talks. You know? It doesn't have to be a lot of settings. It can be, like, talks a lot, talks normal, talks little, and then doesn't talk at all. Like, just, like, 4 settings. That's all I want. All it does is affect how likely he is to talk at any given moment. It'd be great. I think it would be an amazing addition to any game. Doesn't have to be one like this. I think having a side thing that talks is a great addition to any game so long as you can turn it off. Never forget that. That's an important detail. If you're gonna introduce something like that, there needs to be an off button. Just so we're all clear, there needs to be an off button. If there's not an off button, that's a problem. There needs to be an off button. As long as there's an off button, I think it's a great addition to any game. I greatly recommend it. I think it would go great in anything. Yeah, we do that. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to save and quit. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow or Monday with this, and I'll be playing Elden Ring with friends on Sunday with the Seamless Co-op mod. We are finishing up we're finishing up Eastern Limgrave, I believe, is what we are doing. And then we have the down below area from the Eastern Limgrave. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Let me see if anyone is still streaming this game so people can go and watch more Dark Cloud 2 if they wish. Dark Cloud 2 Twitch. Let's see. Is anyone still streaming? A bunch of people are. You know, there's someone here who has streamed consecutively according to their stream title for 3,000 days, so we're gonna raid them because that's funny. I don't necessarily know that that's true, but it is funny. So, what's the name of it? Heaven's Army. Oh, we are unable to raid Heaven's Army. Well, oh well, I guess. Don't know why it said raiding Heaven's Army is a no-no. That's a little odd. But in that case, none of my friends are streaming, so that's it for today, I guess. I'll try and figure out why raiding didn't work later. See you later. Bye-bye.